Hey, Doug here with Bod Tri.
Bod Tri.
So who is Bod Tri for? It's for guys who don't think they can do a marathon, who don't think they can do a triathlon, who's scared to even start or don't know where to start. I can tell you that. I can tell you where to start and how to start. It's very slow, it's persistent, and it's a plan. But it's for men like us who you've got to work in your schedule. You're still going to you're going to eat healthy majority of the time, but you're still going to have good meals when especially here in Louisiana, we're going to have good food. So I'm going to eat good Louisiana food twice a week. But it can be done. It takes a plan. And we're not about the guy who is 150 pounds overweight, and the next thing you know, they show a picture of him and he's got a washboard stomach and he's in great shape. He's a super Ironman. He's super strong. No, this is first off, I live here in South Louisiana. I've been all over the world, been all over the country, and by far we have the best food in the world as far as I'm concerned. We can take anything. We can take a squirrel or a rat and we'll make it into a great meal. I saw a movie, one of the Planet of the Apes, and they were in Los Angeles and the humans were fighting the apes, and the apes won. So that wouldn't happen here. You go down to the apes tried to take over Lafourche Parish. We'd be eating fried ape that night, covered in etouffee. So, and it would be delicious. It'd be the best monkey you've ever eaten. So, my story basically is I was like everybody else. We reasonable exercise through my 20s and 30s and 40s, and something about the 50s. That's like this demarcation mark where you hit 50 and your activity level falls and your body turns into a big pile of mush, and you get I don't know what happens. So I was very busy, and I was going into my 50s, and I started having high blood pressure, and I started having a murmur in my heart, and I'm like, this is happening to me. This curve which it goes, boom, right at 50, and you're down here. So I said, I'm going to take this curve and I'm going to invert it. I'm going to. When do you need the exercise the most? You don't need the exercise and the physical activity in your 20s and 30s. You need it, but you don't need it like you need in your 50s. In your 50s on up, that's when you need to go. I mean, you need to, live a good life, eat your good food, have a good life, but you got to fight for your health like your life depends on it, because it does. And so that's what we're about. I've got the bod body, but I've also done the half Ironmans, I've done the marathons, I've done the half marathons, and I've kind of gotten into a routine. So there's some downfalls. Some like you can do them, and I'll talk about those later. Where after a marathon or an Ironman, where you got yourself in good shape, 3 months later you're back where you were, or maybe even worse. It could be much worse. So there's ways to prevent that. So that's what I want to talk about in following sessions. But mainly I want to introduce how I got to where I am. Where I was in school. I changed jobs several times, and I had to try to perform in those jobs. We bought and sold houses, raising kids, so it happens to everybody. But I was all, that was in my 30s and 40s, but once you hit 50, man, you better change. You better go for it, or you may not make it. Anyway, I'm going to talk to y'all more about it on later videos, but talk to you later.
Bod Tri.